Hey guys, I'm Angela and welcome back to another Hobby Night episode. This week in Warhammer news, we're going to be reviewing the Warhammer Plus app. So let's go ahead and meet up with Chaos Cultist Jack and talk about it. I'm back with Chaos Cultist Jack. Hello, Jack.
Hello, Angela.
And today we're going to go ahead and start by talking about the Warhammer Plus app. And we've gone ahead and subscribed, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Obviously, we are, just full disclosure, we are a channel that primarily covers Games Workshop products right now. And so, for the sake of coverage, we
figured it would be good to get a hold of it and see exactly what it's like and kind of see how they update it and everything. And we have some feelings about how it's going for its launch and everything.
Yes, and some of this is also going to be fueled by the fact that I do work in interactive media for a living, so yes. I have usability complaints. But
yes, we do have some usability complaints because oh my gosh.
Today I think we're going to walk through Warhammer Plus, let you take a look at what you get in it and actually what the experience with the new Warhammer TV app is like, in case you're curious about that, and sort of give our initial opinions.
Yep, I think we should go ahead and get right into it.
Yes, the first thing I would like to just preface everything with is, if you are angry at Games Workshop because of everything with the fan animations and all that, there is nothing here that's going to change your mind. I'm just going to put that spoiler out here right now.
Yeah, I don't think there is really anything that would change anybody's mind if you were if that was your main reason for not wanting to get it.
I do not blame you.
And I don't blame you for it either. Yeah. I really, really don't.
That aside, let's go ahead and just discuss, from a price perspective, it is, if you are like us and we're already subscribing to the Warhammer 40k app, it's a couple dollars more a month.
Yeah, which is not that big of a jump. And I actually think that, right now, with what their anticipation for it is, I think the $59.99 is probably a pretty good deal for a yearly subscription.
It is,
depending on what they add in.
Well, but here's the thing that I was more on board before, but now I'm less sure.
Yes.
Part of the full year subscription is that you get a choice of one of the exclusive miniatures. We talked about this on the news a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was one of the cool things that was actually really exciting about the app.
Now, I'm a little annoyed because I went ahead and paid for us to have the full year subscription, 12 months done. I've already been charged.
Yep.
And it had me now this is, and maybe I'm either upset that I'm either not getting this for a year, or I'm upset because the communication is bad. But it seems we will not get that miniature for 1 year.
It does seem that way, and I'm trying to remember when they actually announced they were doing that, how they worded it, because I do think they called out that we might have had to wait the full year to have it, but I don't really get that because you've already been charged. Even if you canceled it, they still have...
They're making them to order, and they're not starting until now, I'm assuming.
I'm guessing so, or maybe they're not even starting until later, just to see how many people actually sign up for it or something like that. But it does seem weird that you can't get it if you've done a yearly subscription, that you can't just get it immediately.
Yeah, I was optimistic that because we already had the subscription to the app, we went ahead and just paid the full year. And it does, okay, and this is where my confusion comes in.
Yeah.
It says on the 1 year anniversary of subscribing, you can choose a mini.
Yeah.
I chose a mini when I signed up. I signed up on day one, so maybe they patched or changed some things in the registration process. But when I signed up, they had me pick the miniature. So
and did they give you any indication that it was going to be when you get it, or did they just say pick it?
They had me pick it. I did put an address.
Okay, but
which I hope it's not in a year, because in a year we'll probably have moved.
I know, that's the thing.
Hopefully we can update that, I'm sure, with a year, that we will not be the only people with that problem.
Oh, of course. But it does seem a little weird that they're taking it that route.
Yes.
Which one did you get? I assume the Assassin.
The Assassin.
Okay, that was the correct choice. Good.
Yes. And then we come to the Warhammer Plus app. Of course, in addition to all of this, you get access to the apps for the phone, the new 40k app, and I think they're still working on the newer Age of Sigmar app.
I think so. I remember when Dominion was coming out, they had talked about it a little bit and saying that there was going to be updates, but I don't know if that's actually come out yet.
I've been looking, I've used the app maybe a week ago, and I don't think there's been anything majorly updated in the last short period of time.
Okay.
Let me know down in the comments if I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we also, like, Age of Sigmar is not our, like, main thing either, so we don't keep it as, like,
Correct.
forward in our like, radar as we do 40k.
Alright, but to talk about sort of the main thing that I think a lot of people are considering when it comes to Warhammer Plus
Yes.
is Warhammer TV. And this is something I just want to highlight because I was confused about this for the longest time.
Yeah.
I could not figure out how to actually access all the stuff.
Yeah, I also
Because
I was watching you, like, log in and everything, and it was super confusing.
Because this, folks, is this is WarhammerPlus.com, and you can see, you can go to the community site, explore games, and these just go to your generic Games Workshop sites. And if I click Warhammer Plus, that is only this page. And it's very confusing because there is no login or anything. I can go to manage your subscriptions, and then that goes to, like, a settings menu, and I can get to some things through that. But what you actually have to do is once you've signed up for Warhammer Plus, you then have to go to WarhammerTV.com.
And actually sign in there.
Yes.
Which is super confusing, and it's the same thing if you're using, like, an Apple TV or, like, some sort of smart TV.
Yeah, you're looking for the Warhammer
app.
TV app.
You're looking for the Warhammer TV app, not a Warhammer Plus app, which...
This is my professional opinion of, like, ooh, you have confusion in the marketplace.
Yeah,
That's
it's super confusing in the marketplace because, like, everybody's going to be looking for Warhammer Plus because that's how you're advertising everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the fact that they're doing this is super weird to me.
And so that brings us to the actual Warhammer TV experience itself.
Yes.
Let's talk about what's actually here. All right.
It's not a lot. That isn't, like, okay, so... First things, they have a variety of trailers for the games that you can see on YouTube. We've seen these already. They've got a Kill Team one, a Warhammer one, and an Age of Sigmar one.
These are
already free and available on YouTube. I don't know why they're on.
Yes, spoilers. We are going to say this is available on YouTube. A lot. Now, we are in the first week of this content being available.
And they obviously don't want to give us everything at once, and I accept that.
But you need to have... Okay, we'll talk about this when we're done. We need to. We're getting to, like, the thesis of this discussion.
We are.
So,
okay, so you've got the trailers.
animations.
Yes. So in animations, right now, what we've got is Angels of Death, which, oh my god, it's great.
It is. Angels of Death is the best thing
on the app
right now. I'm happy to say that.
Sorry, but, like, no, it is. It's great. I loved the first episode. For me, it lives up to expectations and what I was hoping for it, and I can't wait for more. I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that end up getting the app and, like, go and watch it, or, however you end up seeing it or whatever. But, like, it's fantastic. It's so lore, like, heavy and, like, you're a Blood Angel player, and you've been a Blood Angel player for a really long time. What did you think of it?
I love the references. It's something where when we were watching it, I raised the question of why the hell wasn't this the first thing they previewed opposed to Hammer and Bolter? But I can see why not on a couple of levels. The first one being this looks like it's going to be a PG-13 R-rated series.
Yes, that's for sure.
Depending on how they depict the violence in future episodes. But I can kind of see that. And also, like, this one's heavy in regards to, like, if you don't know what a sanguinary priest is, they're not really going to pause and explain what a sanguinary priest is. A guy's just going to say, like, I at one point was considering becoming a sanguinary priest, and the other guy's like, well, why didn't you? And they continue discussing it, but they never really go into what that is. They don't necessarily explain every bit of lore, which is great. If you are, if you're listening to this, you probably will enjoy it, is my thought.
I agree. Like, unless you are just a super, super new, like, person to Warhammer and you have no idea what any of this is.
But if you're super new and you're interested, this will probably still seem really metal and cool.
Yes. Oh my god. It is really, really awesome.
But is one episode of a cartoon enough? Not yet, I would say.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is we have no idea how frequently, if I remember correctly, how frequently these are actually going to be updating.
I don't remember what it is. I'm going to hope it's once a week.
I hope so
because
too.
once again, I have to compare this against Tabletop Tactics, Mini Wargaming, a plethora of other tabletop content creators are charging a similar, if not, I think Tabletop Tactics is actually less than $6 a month.
I think it is too. I can't remember specifically.
And they're
though.
coming out with 5 or 6 videos a week, not animations. Dear God,
No.
not animations, and I'm not that, but this is also a publicly traded company.
And animations
not
isn't...
a couple of guys in a shed in Britain.
Right, exactly. Like this is and it's not just animations that they're offering on the service either. Like they are doing battle reports, and even if we don't get...
It actually brings us to the next category.
Exactly.
Well, actually, before we get to battle reports,
yes.
Let's talk about the other show.
Oh yeah, sorry, we haven't. I was jumping ahead because we have not talked about the 3 episodes of Hammer and Bolter that are also on here. Now these are the only things that we haven't actually watched on Warhammer Plus.
Everything else we have.
Everything else we've actually watched. We watched both battle reports, all the painting tutorials, and all that. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about these, just because I was really not super thrilled with Old Baelai.
But you do get 2 more episodes right off the bat, and this is more what I was hoping for. I wish we had like 3 episodes of everything.
Yes, this was a good volume to see in regards to content to launch, because it gives you a couple things that, like, if you don't want to just watch it all in one sitting or whatever, you can come back to it a couple of days, or like once a week or something, watch a new episode, and there's like a good cadence there.
Yeah, the one thing I want to complain about, and this is a complaint actually about the app. We're obviously looking at this on a browser right now, but we installed the app on a smart device for TV. You have to select an episode and then select play instead of just clicking on an episode like you would in Netflix or anything else. And it's a bit of UI that, like...
It's weird. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why they have it that way to make you have this extra click.
Because the app feels they have the fundamentals working, and actually that does highlight something that I want to bring up as a positive for the entire thing.
Of course.
Outside of day 1 when I registered, the website and the app have run fine. I have had 0 actual errors or crashes or anything so far, just anecdotally for myself.
Yeah, I would agree. When, like, other than the slight issue that we had of getting logged in, I think on day 1.
That wasn't... Oh yeah, on day 1.
Yeah, it was on day 1. There was like some weirdness, but I think that was more just confusion of not understanding we needed to go to Warhammer TV more so than actually the app having like lag or delay or anything like that.
It was day 1, and I was trying to access it while like thousands of other people were at the same time.
Probably signing up. Exactly.
So there was that. But moving on to the second set of content, which is all exclusive to the app.
Yes.
Is the actual tabletop shows.
Right. Which, overall, I think I personally am pretty satisfied with so far. So Luise has 2 episodes up right now for her Citadel Color Masterclass. The first one is the wet blending episode, and then she has a Painting Faces Pale Skin. I will say that, at least for the wet blending one, I wasn't super thrilled with it as a tutorial, only because when it came to actually showing her actually wet blending on a model, they never actually showed that process.
She did not actually wet blend the shield in this thumbnail. She showed the before and the after.
Right. We never got to see her on camera doing any of the wet blending there. Now we do see her.
We're being so hypercritical.
I'm being so hypercritical. I loved it honestly. Like, it's still great.
The presentation of the first episode is good. I think it suffers from being the first episode.
I think so too.
Because like when watching them both, when we watched this one first, we actually had a moment where she was going through the supplies being used, and she talked about water and paper towels, and I'm like, this is a masterclass series, why are we covering water and paper towels? But we only did that in the first episode because expectations are it's not just going to be experts looking at this, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it does seem like, I will say that I love...
And it is fundamental to the wet blending to have those, so it does make sense, but it did feel like a little bit of padding in episode 1 compared to episode 2, in my opinion.
I agree. In episode 2, the pale skin was fantastic, I thought. Like, I actually, like, she showed all of her steps, she talked about it super well.
Before we get to that,
when
it comes, just to explain what the complaints were in the wet blending episode, before we move on to that one.
Yeah.
In in the episode, she does demonstrate how to wet blend.
Yes.
On a basic flat surface, and does an excellent job in doing so.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But then she proceeds to show us the setup for, say, this shield that you're seeing on screen right now as I slap the microphone. And then she just sort of cuts to it done.
Right, she doesn't actually show the process again of...
And it's a very short episode.
It's a very short episode.
So I wish she had shown us that.
I do too, because then the main reason that I want her to show it is because there is a difference between doing a wet blend on a flat surface like the base where she demonstrated initially, and doing it on an actual model which has curves and raised edges that, like, are going to affect how the paint flows.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the main, like, criticism there with that particular one. And again, it's the very first episode, so I'm being hypercritical and everything like that. But it is something that I hope that they like look at later on as they go into more episodes and stuff, because this is designed to be a masterclass level. Like, I just want to see more practical experience.
Yeah, well, okay.
Or, like,
I mean, you say all that, but you have watched the second episode.
It's true.
So saying all of that,
now
isn't that literally
what she did? She really did. And so in the second episode, the thing that I was going to say is, like, she actually shows all the steps, which I think is a huge step up from the wet blending episode. And I don't know if that's just because that one was supposed to be more of a generalized technique discussion, and this one was more of a specific here's how you specifically do this particular face style.
I mean, it could have also just been a lot of her techniques all depend on wet blending, because if you've seen Luise's portfolio, it is her, like, it's her MO, right?
Oh, and one thing that I actually want to really compliment, like, Games Workshop, I guess, for allowing her to still represent herself really well in these episodes, because I was very concerned that she was going to be, like, put into a, like, generic GW, like, personality box or whatever, but they're actually letting her use super bright colors, like, and sticking with her classic painting style, which I really enjoy seeing, and I hope that super continues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so that basic video she did at the beginning is very important for this episode.
It's true.
And so that sort of explains. It also explains why they launched with these two episodes together.
That is true.
Because maybe the pale skin was really intended to be episode 1, but we really need wet blending to be in there for it.
Right. That is true. That could be the
It could be fundamental to, like, the next few episodes as well.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it to continue, honestly. Like, I think it's a really well presented show right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get it. I don't know if there's any way. Nothing, like, says how often episodes are coming out.
And that's one thing that I do wish they would explain or update.
It might have been announced on Community, but really it should be on the actual site for the shows.
Yeah, it should be telling us.
All right, and now I think you said, the Masterclass was sort of your favorite content.
Yeah, I actually really liked the Masterclass content.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I'm really big into hobby.
Yes, and I thought it was great too. But I actually thought one of the most promising looking shows was the Battle Report.
It was actually a lot better presented and done than I was genuinely anticipating.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they have watched what the community is doing and have learned a lot from it.
Mm-hmm.
I think their editing and their actual cinematography for the presentations of, like, the armies is gorgeous.
Yes.
Shout out to Jazza, who recently highlighted how you can put, like, a big high-definition TV behind your miniatures to get this effect.
So it looks so good.
So if you're wondering how Games Workshop's getting, like, those cool fireball effects in the background, that's just a flat screen, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, we're 90% sure that's what it is.
But, great highlights on the actual battle reports themselves. The camera work here is great.
Really great shots on the miniatures and stuff.
Good detail. This is a 2,000-point battle, and I think they went into a good level of detail in what they were doing and sort of skipping over sort of the more empty parts.
Yep.
My question about this and this series is, because this is by Games Workshop, how dry and is it gonna be?
Right.
Because the benefit of somebody like Mini Wargaming or Tabletop Tactics is they're going to do some goofy stuff. They're going to start naming their Termagants Terry.
Yep.
They're going to come up with lore that they're going to goof.
They're going to build, I think, a little bit more goofy narrative. Not even necessarily goofy, but, like,
I'm talking
energized
purely
narrative.
hypothetical, because I'm like, as I said to you, I'm like, I want a battle report every week.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm actually really wanting as well with this, is I want them to have a battle report every week. And if they don't, I'm going to question it, because that's what a lot of the other like battle report people on YouTube, as well as the ones who have their own subscription services, do. Like Tabletop Tactics, I think, does like what, a video a day or something.
I mean, they're
like
at least doing one public battle report for YouTube a week, and then I think there's at least 3 more on demand a week.
Right, and then I know Mini Wargaming, I think, has a video come out every day on
Plus
YouTube.
one vault.
And plus the vault stuff, and I think each video that comes out on YouTube has a corresponding vault YouTube video. So that's so much content, and their teams aren't going to be that much larger than what Games Workshop can put together and like dedicate to this. So I really hope that we see it's not just a once a month update or something like that, because otherwise it doesn't seem like it would. I don't know, that just doesn't seem worthwhile specifically.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the editing and the production value is higher, but like, I mean, I've seen what Lawrence does at Tabletop Tactics, and I know there's another channel that I'm blanking on the name of that does sort of like the more abbreviated battle reports, but like...
Oh, yes, I don't remember their name off the top
sorry
of my head.
about that, but yeah, they have like exquisite camera work and all that as well, so it's like, you know, once again, we kind of have to compare them against what's already out there.
Right,
and it's like, this stuff is great. These shots are great.
But the thing is, though, is I feel like the community is not that far from that.
No, they're really not. And I do want to call out something that I'm a little concerned about in the Age of Sigmar battle report.
Yes, we talked about this at length, actually, while we were watching it.
So the first one that she's referring to is... Games Workshop, I know you want your miniatures to blend in with your terrain and for it to all look like one cohesive world, but oh my god, I cannot read what is happening on this table.
It's so hard to tell what's going on.
It's because they all have they're all based to look exactly like the mat.
They are, and all of the blue on the Stormcast Eternal is like not actually from top down. Because of the angle they chose, it's really not super visible, and everything else that's more prominent on them is all the gold, and that kind of just gets washed out next to all the grays and everything. And good lord, talking about the only thing I can see on the orcs is any of the red. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, so I hope they work on visual contrast in the future. But I'm a little concerned they're only going to use the battle reports to like highlight new box sets.
I am a little worried about that as well. I'm also very curious if we're only going to be getting 40k and Age of Sigmar battle reports, or if we're also going to be getting Kill Team, Warcry, Necromunda, Aeronautica, Blood Bowl. Like, are we going to get all of the other games
Do a
as battle
retro
reports?
show and bring back Battlefleet Gothic, you cowards.
Yes, that would be so cool. Also, please do a Blood Bowl show where you have somebody like cosplaying as Bob and Jim, I think is his name.
Yes,
like,
Jim and Bob.
Yes, please. Like, I need somebody to like be those characters
for
commentary while the game is happening, because it'd be so good. I imagine it could be really good. Please do that.
All right, so once again, 40k battle report felt great. Age of Sigmar one, highlighting just sort of the recent starter box. It's fine, but I don't know if it works as a good educational aid for new players, and I don't think it's hyper engaging for super experienced players. But once again, it's like their first one, so this literally may have just been like okay, let's film one, edit it, and learn from it.
And if they're going to launch the app, they might as well use the existing current fancy new product for it. So, I mean, I get why they at least went with those armies.
Okay, but that is the end of the good.
Yes, it is.
And that leaves us with the rest, which I would call their YouTube catalog from the last 6 months.
Yep. That is quite literally, I think, all that it is. And
it's the how to play videos for each of the games. All very good videos. Not dismissing the work on these videos, the craftsmanship, the presentation. But these are all the videos that have been available on YouTube for months.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to assume are going to remain on YouTube, because it would be sort of silly of them to remove how to play videos.
Yeah, I agree.
From the internet.
It'd also be silly of them to remove their like basic painting tutorials from the internet as well, which is the other thing that you can get, which is also on YouTube.
And let's make something clear, however. This is not all of them.
No.
This is only 9th edition
Yep.
tutorials.
Yeah, it's only the new stuff. They haven't put any of their older tutorials on Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, you can see Cruel Boys.
Or I guess Warhammer TV.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So if you were wanting to, like, go back and watch that, like, I think there was, like, a 2-hour video of painting Abaddon, the Despoiler, or Archeon, the Everchosen.
It was,
one,
I think
one
it was
of the
like,
two. I
yeah,
can't
it was.
remember who.
I think it was Archeon.
But, like, if you were hoping to rewatch that on Warhammer TV, nah.
Nope.
So, you know, I'm a little disappointed. I'm like, guys, just get the entire catalog over here then.
Right, yeah, I don't understand if they're just going to if the majority of what's going to be on here is going to just be what's on YouTube, why not have that all just already up here? Because honestly, it would make
it would at least fluff it out from a perspective
that's
that,
exactly what I was trying to get out.
Advertise, you know, like featuring over X 100 painting tutorials and technique videos, you know, something like that.
It would especially be helpful for anybody who, like, is new to come in and go, oh, I can just find all of it here. I don't have to go anywhere else. Look at how much content they already have. All of it seems fresh and new and exciting. Like, and then even for those who knew it all already, at least it's all consolidated into one place again. Like, it just seems very odd what they have up there, especially with the lack of knowing how often it'll be updated.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering they bought Astartes.
Yep.
Why is Astartes not on here already?
Yeah.
Like, everything that was already on YouTube, and is for years, because they bought Blackreach too, I think.
I thought they did,
and if not, they should have. Well, not in the way that they shut him down, but just in the way of pay that man.
Yes, please.
But my thought with it is like, I thought they were buying these guys because there's sort of the idea when you launch a subscription network, you need a pool of content already.
Yep.
Going back to our pro wrestling stuff, WWE, when they launched their network, had 30, 40 years of content of multiple companies. Many people argue currently that AEW is currently recording so many YouTube and dark shows because they're building up a tape library for a future streaming something.
Yeah, I mean, even Disney Plus or other streaming services like that, I mean, have all of their years of products to be able to put on there. And I know GW has not been making, like, videos and animations or that kind of thing for super long, but with how much that they bought up from the fan community, like, or from the fan stuff, and the fact that, like, they do have a huge catalog of painting tutorials and other kinds of tutorials on their YouTube, and they didn't just all put it on here, it's so weird.
All right, so Angela.
Yes.
The end of the day, right now, for $6 a month, or $60 a year, or your regional equivalent, you can get Warhammer Plus. Now, that is not just Warhammer TV, but for many people that will be the main thing.
Correct.
You will theoretically get a miniature next year if you don't move.
Yep.
You will also get access to the vault. That is something we haven't not looked into yet.
Yeah, not looked at the vault.
You know what? I'm going to click on it right now. Let's take a look at the vault. What happens when we click to the vault? We have breached the walls of the Black Library.
Excellent.
And they are not as impressive as I would have expected.
No, they're really not. So what do we got? What do we have?
All right. So what we appear to have in total in the Warhammer Vault is the Gathering Storm books.
Okay.
A couple of the Sanctus Reach lore books, along with the Gosgol Thraka lore book.
Which are more like encyclopedia type things from what we're
Yes. So I can do a quick load up of one of them. Obviously, this is probably optimized for viewing on phones and mobile devices, but it gets you. These books were published like 10 years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, something like that. But
not long ago, huh?
Gives you. I think it was like 7th edition. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So you get access to that. You get access to the lore floppy books from Warhammer Underworlds, like the little
all
books
the
that come in the boxes.
from all the starter sets that like that's cool.
You get all of last year's White Dwarfs.
Woo.
All right.
Which I actually think is not a full 12 because they skipped several months because of COVID.
Yep, I think you are indeed correct. There are, in fact, only 10 issues here.
Yep, so that you don't even get a full 12, which is a little
And then finally, a large number of Warhammer Visions publications from back, I think, around 2014. Which I was actually out of the hobby then. but these all appear to be
like these are collections of like just pictures of the miniatures, right?
pictures of the miniatures and dioramas and people's art projects, I believe. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, that's really neat, but that doesn't...
Yeah, July 2015.
Okay.
And if you're looking for inspiration or just want to look at some cool art, one day it will load.
Yeah, one day.
And when that day comes, you will be in fact greeted with some nice miniature art.
Exactly.
Except on this page. That page says F you. So...
Well, we wanted to show some beautiful Blood Angels, so...
Yeah, so I mean, that's all nice. But that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all that's on there right now.
I was really thinking they were going to drop Horus Heresy, like the first trilogy or something.
I don't understand why they haven't. The fact that there aren't like audiobooks on this or something.
That's probably licensing with Audible.
Oh, that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. I understand maybe why there aren't audiobooks, but why don't you just have like PDF versions of your books just for people to read, especially the Horus Heresy.
Or EPUB, or those
something,
the different formats. So, that is of course the final thing that you're getting with Warhammer Plus right now.
I also think
and access, of course, to the apps.
The app. No. Also access to I do think that you get like event things.
Oh yes.
Like you get something for if you go to events, you get like priority or something like that.
I don't. Well, that isn't on the website, and I haven't been able to experience that yet.
True.
So I can't give you a review.
That's true. We can't give you a review on that, but that is technically one other thing that you get with subscribing.
All right. Well, my as I cannot use any of it, it has a 0 value to me, and therefore it is not very good for this review.
It's
Angela, is Warhammer Plus worth it?
At this point, I honestly don't think so yet. If you are looking into getting it and you haven't already gotten it yet, I would wait and see what people say like 2 months from now.
I was going to say, see what the content is like in a month. See how much they have released. Because if they aren't supporting it now, they never will.
Exactly. And so like if they aren't putting stuff out weekly and if it ends up being monthly, like I don't think that's worth it. Like, they have to be putting out a lot of content. And it doesn't have to all be animations. I'm not expecting them to pump out a bunch of animations.
No.
I know that takes time. But, like, in more time than, say, like, a battle report or a painting tutorial or anything like that. But I do want to see a good cadence of painting tutorials and battle reports and other games focused on...
We know you can make a painting tutorial in a week. And I know theirs are better quality than ours. We're not arguing that.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not.
They're professionals and we're doing this out of our apartment. So
right. So they should be able to put out like multiple like painting tutorials a week.
I would certainly hope so if they're going to be charging people.
Exactly.
I would actually, that all being said, I will be a little counter.
Yeah, go ahead.
And say that it is worth it if you're already paying for the app.
I would say that's a fair point, honestly. If you already have the Warhammer app for like doing the list building and everything, then honestly upgrading to Warhammer Plus and getting the mini and getting access to what they do have.
I use Battle Scribe more than
Oh yeah, no, so do I. But if you already have it and you're already paying for it anyways, you might as well just upgrade because I do think that probably is a good value. But going in fresh, not having paid for anything, I just don't know currently if I would. Like, give it a month, see how it does, and then go from there, because right now, I don't know if I think so.
And there you have it, folks. Angela's verdict on Warhammer Plus.
That has been Jack and I's review of the Warhammer Plus launch week. It was alright. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I would like to thank my patrons for supporting us and making it so that we can continue to make content like this. I also would like to thank Jack for being here, being part of this episode. Thank you, Jack.
It's my pleasure.
And if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram at hobby_night for additional hobby content. And I will see you guys next week for some more painting videos and another Warhammer news episode. I've been Angela. You've been watching Hobby Night. See you later. Bye.